I've always wanted to have one of those luscious home gardens, and during the lockdown, I finally gave in and ordered a whole mess of cedar to build it. Let me show you how to make these easy to build, durable raised bed planters. If you want to build along with me, I'll have plans for sale on my website for these with renders, measurements, and step-by-step instructions. But if you support me on Patreon, you'll get plans for these, as well as all my other projects for free. I started this build by building what was essentially a fence. I set cedar 4x4 posts into level beds of gravel and poured Quikrete fast-setting concrete directly into the hole. This is a super easy way to set posts, as you simply dig the hole, plumb the post, and pour in the concrete mixture. After you pour in your mixture, work through it with a trowel for a little bit to make sure there aren't any air pockets in the concrete, and then add water. Keep adding water a little bit at a time until it no longer soaks into the concrete and just a little standing puddle of water sits on top. Now I'm making 8 planters, so I had a lot of pieces to cut. Whenever I need to make repetitive cuts like this that are wider than a stop block could consistently make, I cut one reference piece for each measurement, and then I use that to mark all the other pieces. I stacked 3 boards to gang cut all these at a time until I had 24 side pieces. Each of my planters was around 42 inches long, and 24 end pieces. Each of my planters was 24 inches wide. Gang cutting pieces like this makes batching these out a breeze. The hardest part is really just moving that much wood. Fortunately, I use cedar, which is not only rot resistant, but is also significantly lighter than pine, especially pressure treated pine. I used pine 1x6s for the side slats of my planters, which meant there wouldn't be much to drill into if I just butt jointed them and screwed them together. So I used cedar 2x4s to reinforce each corner. I used self-tapping 2-inch cedar colored deck screws to attach each board, driving them in a couple inches away from the end of each board to avoid splitting as much as I could. I'll be reinforcing these corners so I could cover up minor splits if I have to. After building all the side slat sub-assemblies, I joined them together using the 24-inch end pieces and more 2-inch deck screws to complete the carcass of the box. You can also see that my 2x4 corner reinforcements don't come quite all the way to the tops of the slat walls. I did this so they could be covered with dirt to make the planters look more seamless. Even utility projects can incorporate minor design elements. And speaking of design elements, now's the time to cut those decorative yet functional corner reinforcements. After cutting the cedar 2x10s to the length I needed, I cut 1.5-inch wide strips. I then raised my blade up to 1 inch and moved my fence so the outside end of the blade was 1 inch away from the face to remove the waste. You can buy 2x2 corner molding if you really had to or you don't have a table saw, but it's cheaper to make it yourself and it's pretty darn easy. Not to mention all the cedar Lincoln log offcuts you get for your kids to play with afterwards. After finishing all the trim pieces, I took them back outside and attached them with some water-resistant construction adhesive and a couple brad nails. The nails are really just there to keep them in place while the adhesive dries. These corner details not only give your raised planters a more finished look, they also protect the end grain of the wood from moisture and bugs, as well as providing even more structural support to the corners. From there on out, it was really just repetition and doing the same steps over and over again to finish building the 8 planters. I tried to get all the frames assembled in one go so that I kind of got into the rhythm of installing each of the pieces. I find that when I get into that sort of flow state of building a repetitive task like this, it ends up being a lot more consistent. At this point, and let's just pretend like it was the same day, the concrete is set on your fence post and you can install your 1x4 slats. The intent of this fence is to work as sort of a trellis for all the raised gardens at the back of the garden, while also functioning as a sort of French cleat system for the hanging window box planters I plan to install here later, and the garden tool storage for the potting bench I'll also soon be building for this area. I very carefully leveled the bottom slat on this fence before using 4.5-inch spacers to install each subsequent slat. I think this is going to be the coolest part of this garden once all the plants mature and the potting bench goes in. I'm really excited about how this turned out. After laying out the planters into the garden to get an idea of the spacing and layout, I added the top trim pieces to the planters. These pieces are entirely superfluous cosmetic details, but it does make the planters look more finished and a little more stylish in my opinion. You could totally leave this step off and still have some way better than average looking planters when all said and done, but I attached each top piece with the same construction adhesive and brad nails to keep them in place while the adhesive dried. It's these little details that can set apart a really nice looking finished piece from something entirely utilitarian looking. I also built a couple of larger counter height versions of these planters for the back of the garden. The design and build process was exactly the same, but I added a couple of 2x4 supports and a bunch of slats I made from offcuts of the other planters, so I didn't have to fill each planter with, like 2 yards of gardening mix. A safe depth for most planters is between 13 and 16 inches. There aren't that many garden plants that need root structures that are much deeper than that. The ironic thing about cedar is that even though it's weather and rot resistant, if you don't give it a nice UV and weather resistant coating, it will turn to a gray color over time. For a furniture grade cedar, there's a lot of really nice clear film finishes with UV blockers, but for ground contact projects like this, the best way to preserve that cedar look is translucent cedar deck finish. It's bulletproof to the elements and keeps your cedar looking like cedar longer. Oh, and I'm really bad at selling my merch, but if you want either the gray Woodwork Life t-shirt you see me wearing in this video, or the black Keep It Sharp shirt, I'll put a link to my merch store in the top link in the description. I'd really appreciate your support. With everything built and in place, it's really tempting to just fill these with dirt from around your lot, because it's so crazy spending money on dirt, but it makes such a huge difference. I filled these planters with a total of about 4 yards of garden mix of compost and manure, and our garden has taken off like a rocket. You'll thank me later. I'm really happy with how these raised planters turned out, and I'm excited to build the potting bench later this spring. If you want to catch that video and other woodworking videos from me, be sure to hit that subscribe button. And if you enjoyed this project or you want the universe to build it for you, be sure you like it and share the video on social media if you want other people to see it. I'll be updating the status of my garden on my Instagram page at WoodWorkLIFE, so follow me over there if you want to see this baby really pop. Thanks for watching, and remember, keep your tools sharp and keep your mind sharper.